In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on January 1st, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. San Francisco 49ers versus Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders play host to the San Francisco 49ers in a rivalry clash on Sunday afternoon from Allegiant Stadium. The 49ers come into this one playing some of the best football in the NFL, having won 8 straight games. For the Raiders, things have been a little more difficult, having lost 2 of their last 3. The last time these 2 teams played was back in 2018, which was a dominant win for the 49ers, who have won 3 of the last 4 in the series overall. With both teams trending in opposite directions in this one, it'll be interesting to see how this one finishes out. San Francisco is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games following a win, and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games following an against the spread win, while the under is 7-3 in their last 10 road games. Las Vegas is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games against a team with a winning record, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 games against a team with a winning record. The San Francisco 49ers have been very dominant as of late, even with Purdy taking over under center. I don't expect them to slow down against the Raiders, especially with the number of changes that they have undergone in the past couple of weeks. With the 49ers defense absolutely stomping their opponents, especially when they run the ball, I see them dominating the Raiders offense, which is coming off a terrible outing against the Steelers. Purdy has done a good job moving the offense downfield while making accurate throws. When the passing game gets challenged, they can turn to the run game with McCaffrey and Jeff Wilson Jr. Either way, this offense has weapons in the air and on the ground, and that is something the Raiders won't have entering this matchup. In addition, the defense has been unbreakable, allowing under 80 rushing yards per game. Bosa is a force that can't be stopped, but with his status being questionable, Stidham may not face as much pressure as he would with Bosa. Despite possibly not having Bosa, the defense still has plenty of weapons with Greenlaw and Hufanga, so the San Francisco 49ers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The 49ers defense is going to be a huge challenge for this Raiders offense that has just changed their starting quarterback for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that Stidham doesn't have very much experience, throwing for less than 100 yards this season. Against this defense, Stidham is going to face a lot of pressure that will force him to scramble. Once he is out of the pocket, he has to worry about Hufanga and the strong secondary, which leads us to the next reason: the 49ers' ability to stop the run. With Stidham likely facing a lot of pressure when it comes to the passing game, the Raiders will want to stick to the ground game. However, the 49ers defense stomps teams that rely on the run game, so this will become a bad option for the Raiders. With this being said, Las Vegas won't score very easily, and Purdy being pressured by Crosby will force the 49ers to run more, so expect a low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Jets versus Seattle Seahawks. The New York Jets will head out to Seattle, Washington, where the Seahawks will host their final 2 games of the season. New York is coming off a poor offensive performance against Jacksonville, but only allowed 1 touchdown defensively. Zach Wilson went 9-18 for 92 yards and an interception. Mike White should be the play caller on Sunday. Seattle is coming off a road game in Kansas City where they outgained the Chiefs in total yards, but were only 2-14 on 3rd down conversions. Geno Smith threw for 215 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The Jets are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 road games and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games in January. The Seahawks are 0-4 against the spread versus a team with a losing record and 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. The under is 8-2 in Jets' last 10 games overall. The over is 5-0 in Seahawks' last 5 games in January. The Jets are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. The home team is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings. The favorite is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings. For weeks I've been thinking about this scenario playing out. The Jets' playoff hopes hanging by a thread with Geno Smith delivering the final knockout punch. The script writes itself, but Seattle's play over the last few weeks has made this a tougher game to predict. With Mike White now firmly installed as the starting QB this week, this line quickly moved from a pick'em to Jets minus 2.5 before some Seattle money entered the market midweek. I know Mike White will play better than Zach Wilson did last Thursday, but that is an extremely low bar for what was one of the worst quarterback performances of the entire season. Geno's production has also plateaued a bit. In weeks 1 to 8, he had the 4th highest expected points added plus completion percentage over expected of any quarterback in the NFL. That ranking has dropped to 10th since week 9. Again, not a huge dip, but it's obvious there has been some regression. He has also been a little bit more careless with the ball, especially of late, committing the 2nd most turnover-worthy plays this season and 8 overall in the last 3 games. All 3 Seattle losses. The Seahawks' offensive line is a big reason for the decline in production. After playing well for much of the season, injuries and ineffectiveness have become more prominent. Rookie RT Abraham Lucas was injured in the Chiefs game last week, and his backup Stone Forsythe played poorly in relief. Seattle also rotated Gabe Jackson and Phil Haynes at RG, with neither playing well, allowing a combined 6 pressures. The Jets' offensive line has been very shaky of late as well, but they are facing a Seahawks defense this week which really struggles to generate pressure and is 31st overall in pass rush win rate. The real crux of this handicap is the Jets' defense, which is head and shoulders the best unit on the field in this game. The defensive line continues to play at an elite level, with a top 10 pressure rate despite blitzing at the 2nd lowest rate in the NFL. Translation: they can get pressure without committing extra guys in the box, which allows their secondary to play free and easy. The Jags exposed a bit of a flaw in that formidable defense last week, attacking the flats and highlighting the short passing game, with Trevor Lawrence recording his 2nd lowest average depth of target of the season. We'll see how Robert Saleh adjusts to that this week. It certainly helps they get an extra few days to prepare after playing last Thursday. Overall, I trust Saleh's stop unit to get off the field in key spots, and I pray for the health and safety of Mike White because the Jets' offense is hopeless without him. So the New York Jets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This is a must-win for each team as playoff hopes are on the line. The Jets have had one of the best red zone defenses all year and have allowed 20 points or less in 3 straight. Seattle has scored over 20 points once in the last 3 weeks. As is evident by the quarterback changes, the offense for the Jets has struggled. While Mike White has proven he can move the ball, he's only tossed for touchdowns in 1 of his 3 starts. In the red zone, the Jets should be able to hold the Seahawks to field goals as they allow less than 2 touchdowns per game. The under is 8-2 in the Jets' last 10. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay Packers. Minnesota will try to deal Green Bay a devastating blow when the NFC North rivals square off on Sunday afternoon. The Vikings still have an outside shot at the top overall seed in the conference, but they could be eliminated from that race before their game kicks off. Green Bay needs to win its final 2 games to have a shot at making the postseason. The Vikings are 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 after an against the spread loss, and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 in January. Minnesota is 3-10 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. Meanwhile, the Packers are 17-7 against the spread in their last 24 on grass and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home versus a team with a winning road record. The over is 5-2 in Green Bay's last 7 versus the NFC. Although the Vikings' record is way better than the Packers, this could turn out to be one of the closest games of the weekend. Both teams will play competing for something, especially the Packers since they are still looking for a spot in the playoffs. Green Bay is the favorite to win this matchup by only around 3 points. This means this should be a hard-fought battle from start to finish. Expect many changes of possessions and points on the board. In the end, it could come down to which team took care of the ball more and avoided turnovers. The final minutes of the game should be must-see television, just like some of Minnesota's recent games, such as versus the Colts in overtime. Even though the Packers are having a down season overall, their defense is having its moments. Green Bay is currently in the top 10 in interceptions with 14. Additionally, the unit has forced 10 fumbles. Perhaps the key to defeating the Vikings Vikings will be forcing turnovers. Minnesota has had multiple turnovers in just 4 games this year but ended up losing 2 of them. Another of those games was the aforementioned comeback victory over the Colts. Green Bay's defensive unit will be more aggressive than their previous encounter. The defensive line will give Kirk Cousins a hard time, forcing quick bad throws and sacks. This should result in at least 3 turnovers by the Vikings, which should allow the Packers to stay ahead in the game. In the end, the Packers will take care of the Vikings. This should make things harder for Minnesota to take over the #1 spot in the NFC while keeping Green Bay in the hunt for the playoffs, depending on what happens with the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders in Week 17. So the Green Bay Packers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Vikings offense has found out what works for them, and Cousins and Jefferson have been an unbeatable combo downfield. Rodgers and the Packers have a clutch offense that really comes out to play when the postseason nears, so expect to see some vintage Rodgers put his offense in a scoring position to stay ahead of the Vikings. Jones may be out against the Vikings, which may push the Packers to attack through the air a little more, and even if Jones isn't, they may want to stick with the air game to prevent further injury to his ankle. With this being said, Rodgers is a veteran who has experience with these crucial games, so expect him to make a lot of clutch plays. Cousins and Jefferson will make a lot of room for the run game, so expect Cook to help the Vikings pick up easy yards to put them into a scoring position. I do expect these offenses to put a lot of points on the board. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.